your educated campus.
The role of a student athlete is very time intensive and can restrict the bounds of academics for many, but the proper balance can give those athletes skills to use in everyday life.
I mean, it's a big commitment, but it's worth it.
Matthew Seawick, News Team Boulder.
Shows off. Point one away. Good.
Most of you think that student athletes only have privileges, but what you don't know is that athletes also have disadvantages that other students do not have. Today I'll teach you the pressures of being a student athlete, how they are with their school performance, and how they would pursue a career in tennis. Most students are just full-time students. Student athletes are full-time athletes and full-time students. I took a survey of you, and seven of you said that you have either played or still play sports for your school. For instance, pressure is one of the multiple hardships the tennis student athletes have to face. So you have very much pressure. You have a lot of pressure to do well in school, to do well in your sports. You go to a game, you go to your practices, and then you have to go home, you have to study, you have to do homework, and you don't have much time for yourself. They say that you need about 20 minutes a day of non-school activities, non-athletic activities, so you can stay relaxed or somewhat relaxed. It's very hard for student athletes to balance their life. They have to balance their social life, their athletic life, their academic responsibilities, and their athletic responsibilities. They also have to balance how they are between your practices and wanting to hang out with friends. If your friends invite you to a movie but you have a game that night, you're not going to the movies, you're going to a game. You have to go to the game because you cannot make up that game, but you can go to the movies some other time. Likewise, athletes have higher standards for their school performance. The average team size for a women's college team is about 9. The average scholarship that women get is $6,467. The number of high school players there are for women playing in high school that play tennis is 215,737. The number of college players are 10,869. That's a difference of 204,868. That's how many women have dedicated pretty much like 4 years of their life of high school that don't get to go play for college. They might play like on the side, but they don't get to play competitively. The percent of the high school students playing in college, that's only 5%. So that's 95% that do not play. To get a scholarship, you just have to have the regular requirements to get into a Division I school, as the other students do. But you also have to be one of the top players in your sport. The average GPA in your college athletes is 2.56. The average GPA for non-college athletes is 2.74. I mean, it doesn't seem much, but the graduation rate for college athletes is 34.2%. The graduation rate for non-athletes is 46.8%. Another equally important hardship is assigned to either start or end their tennis career. To go into a tennis career, you have to go and play tennis. You have to play tournaments. You have to play in your college, and to get into college, you pretty much have to be one of the top-ranking people in your state, maybe even your district if you have somewhat good grades. Gecko is ranked number 81 out of everyone that plays tennis for men. And an ESPN announcer, John McEnroe, says he might have to start looking for another job because he's ranked number 81. In 2008, 143 women got $100,000 in prize money from tennis tournaments. The tournaments that you can get you famous, they can get you sponsorships. I mean, most people that are very well, they get sponsorships like Federer. He gets $10 million a year from Nike, and he has a 10-year contract. you have to sign up through many like organizations to go to tennis tournaments like the USTA. You can also sign up for other ones in different places. This one's the United States Tennis Association. Many tennis players, they get their income from sponsors, appearances at tournaments and tournaments. The top ranking players, they get paid just to go to the tournaments. If they don't win any of their games, they still get paid $19,000. At the US Open, 128 men and 128 women are competing, and the winner of the US Open gets $1.6 million. They have to pay their travel costs, but the tournaments pay their hotel, their food, everything. They have everything set up for them except for travel, which, I mean, considering how much they make, it doesn't seem like it's not much. And the tennis players aren't the only ones that get the money out of this. Their coaches and trainers, if you're ranked 100 or up, then their coach gets $1,000 to $2,500 a week. Many very famous people have so much money they don't even know what to do with it. Further, he has a $300 million net worth. $300 million. That's a lot of money just for playing tennis and doing what he loves. Serena Williams, she's ranked number 5, and she gets $130 million. That's her net worth. Nadal, his net worth is $100 million. You can make a living out of tennis, but it's very hard. You have to be very good. You have to get the scholarships. You have to play in college. You have to play the tournaments. And the tournaments take up a lot of time. There's tournaments pretty much every Saturday. Sometimes it's Friday through Sunday. You play multiple people. You're very exhausted. You don't have any time for anything else because you're always training. There's a cost to being a tennis player. There's a cost to being a student athlete. There's a cost to being an athlete at all. Therefore, student tennis players have multiple hardships that other students do not have. I chose this because I play tennis and I've been a student athlete my whole life, and sports are very important to me. I've always been involved in sports. My sister's been involved. My dad coaches. Sports is just my life. I want you to walk away with the knowledge that not only do student athletes have privileges, but they also have disadvantages. Today you learned about the pressures of being a student athlete, how their school performance is, how to get scholarships, and how to start or end a career in tennis. Thank you.
All right.